It's a Cinnamon podcast.
Cinnamon?
Cinnamon 9.
Cinnamon 9.
The Cinnamon 9 podcast. That's right. Travis, Mike, and Eric. We're live and uncensored doing our thing here. Today's movie that will be the main focus of our Does It Hold Up or Not segment is 2000's Proof of Life, starring Russell Crowe and Meg Ryan. Is it really Meg Ryan? We'll find out later. It looks like her. I'm not so sure it was her, but we'll get into that. We had a good time doing the last show. That was fun. And we're on a roll here. This is 3 straight weeks, I believe, that we're all here together. We've had a second consecutive afternoon show. We're here doing this at 1:30 p.m. on a Tuesday, thanks to Mother Nature, Travis. And what a gift it is.
Well, Mother Nature and whoever decides to call a snow day. So I'm here at home and loving it. My dogs are loving it too.
And oddly enough, Eric got the same damn thing. He's not that far away from us. He's only in Indiana, Griffith, Indiana, live.
Remember you used to have to get up at like 4 in the morning and watch like the ticker tape on the bottom of the screen, hoping that Livingston County would pop up.
Yeah, you get up at like 6 a.m. Yep. You get up at 5:30. Like, I remember, I'm so old that I actually remember turning on WWJ and just like turning that AM radio on and be like, oh, come on, say the school closing.
No,
TV was the second.
It was always Lenawee County. Lenawee County, a lot of tornadoes, a lot of closings. Yeah. Always Lenawee, and I'd be like, Livingston's next. No, they skip it.
It's true.
Yeah.
They did.
Now it's like I got a text and 2 emails at least. I got a phone call. I got text, 2 emails, and a phone call, like an automated phone call.
Yeah, to be off the grid again. I'm sorry, folks. But this is cinnamon9pod@gmail.com if you want to send us an email. We got an email from Adele Frank, but it's just some bullshit. So I'm afraid to click on it because it doesn't have a title, and I don't see any words, so I don't want to click on it. I don't think it's a real person. You guys dare me to do it?
No, save your computer. If they didn't put a subject in there, that's on Adele Frank.
All right, thanks, Adele Frank.
Email us back, Adele, if you're a real human.
Yeah, we'll give you a chance. Just put a title. Come on, that's really sketchy, bro, or brah. Yeah, cinnamon9pod@gmail.com, 5-star reviews, all that good stuff. We really appreciate that. We have talked also, by the way, that we might get into our best of 2023 relatively soon, Travis, right? We're getting to award season, and this is the time where I thought it was a little late, but then you kind of changed my mind yesterday in our text thread that, yes, there's still a lot of time to talk about the movies from last year because of all the awards and obviously culminating with the Oscars soon.
Yeah, I'd need to like sit down and look at everything. I haven't decided what my best of the year is yet, so if you wanted to do that now, I'm not ready for it, but they did announce today the Oscar nominations.
They did,
yeah. And not a lot of surprises, except for it's been a long time since there was a movie listed that I had heard nothing about. I've heard nothing about this movie, The Anatomy of a Fall. I've not heard anything about this film. I've heard of everything else, but this one movie got a bunch of notice, and I'm like, okay. But other
we gotta have another situation like last year with a late push. Somebody had a late party with the marketing push.
Maybe
with the what was it? The Riseborough movie
from Leslie.
Yes, to Leslie.
To Leslie.
Maybe that's the case with this one.
Eric, what are your thoughts on the Oscar noms?
Trash, garbage, worst movie year of all time, Eric?
It's so weird. Usually I'm like counting the days until the nominations. I'm getting up. I'm all excited. Didn't even know they were happening.
I didn't either.
I didn't see any of these fucking movies. The only one I really want to see is The Zone of Interest, the new Jonathan Glazer.
Yeah.
All his movies are fucking awesome. I don't know why I'm not more excited than I am right now, and it's supposed to be his masterpiece. I'm just so nonplussed this year when it comes to these new movies. I don't know what the fuck is going on.
But you were trashing on our text thread. You were trashing Barbie, a movie you haven't seen. Screenplay by Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig, directed by Greta Gerwig, starring Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie. Like, I don't understand how you could be amazed that everyone could celebrate this movie with these kind of filmmakers and think like it doesn't belong on the Best Picture thing without having seen it yet.
I've been trying to figure out how I'm going to put this into words so I could get into this conversation with you. The only way I could describe it is like remember the 90s? Like, yeah, Pretty Woman, huge hit. We're not talking Best Picture here. Like, remember, like, The Matrix, huge hit. We're not talking Best Picture here. It's like, yeah, these are fun blockbusters that people love, but these are not the most prestigious films of the year.
You need to see it. I'm sorry, but you're talking out of your ass. You need to see it.
The fucking girl riding around in a pink car. Give me fucking. This is not. This is Blockbuster Movie Awards.
This is not a good look. You need to see the movie before you judge it, because you're going to be real fucking chagrined when you actually watch it. And I'm not saying I don't think it's the best movie of the year. I don't think it's the best movie of the year. But if you think it's going to suck, you're going to be surprised. because it doesn't.
I assume I haven't seen it either, and I'm waiting to see it because it finally showed up on Max or whatever, and I wanted to watch it with Leanne, so I haven't seen her in a minute. I'm hoping maybe I could get it done this weekend, but from what I gather, Eric, I'm assuming this isn't like a kids movie Barbie. That's not what I'm getting for the people involved. Is that what you're thinking, or you just think it's like popcorn trash?
I don't think it's like a made for kids, like My Little Pony the Movie. I'm just like, when did these like big, glossy, like fun blockbusters become Best Picture nominees? I just don't get this.
Well, I'm assuming this one's like very heavy on like social satire. That's what I'm assuming.
It is, and also to answer your question, when they expanded the category to 10 movies, that's when that started happening.
Playing The Dark Knight, dude.
I don't like it.
Yep, got dealt a bad hand, just like my stepdad, DiBiase.
I think that's what you don't like about it. But remember, Oppenheimer was a big hit too, and you've got no qualms about that.
But that's by a big time. Yeah, that's by a Nolan movie.
Greta Gerwig is a hell of an actor.
Based on a fucking doll.
She is. I'm not joining in on this argument, by the way.
I'm not having an argument because I'm talking to someone he doesn't even know what he's arguing because he hasn't seen the movie.
I'll get back to you.
Talk to the movie. Yeah, watch the movie and talk to me afterwards.
There it is. Talk to the hand. If I can say, I'm really excited to watch that and Oppenheimer. They're really high on my list. But also, like I told you yesterday, Travis, I'm really excited. I did a little perusing yesterday on YouTube, and I don't know how to explain this, but there are so many movies made every year now, like more than ever. Everyone talks about peak TV and all these TV shows, but there's so many movies by reputable people that you've known from prior movies that are legit. Like Adrian Brody movie, for example. It came out a couple years ago that he directed and produced himself, and I didn't see it. It looked really good in the trailer I saw yesterday. I'm like, I didn't even hear about this, and this was like 2022. There's all this like independent cinema that I think this is a new revelation for me anyways. It's kind of being swept under the rug because I don't know why. Maybe because there's just too much shit out there these days. But it's really interesting to me because I'm like, wow, I want to see that movie. Oh, I want to see that movie. Oh, Ian McShane movie? Oh, cool. J.K. Simmons movie? I want to see that.
We stay plugged into like what's happening in cinema, but the three of us do kind of. But even still, we miss stuff in part because, I don't watch previews. I don't go out of my way to like.
I usually don't. Yeah, I'm with you. You know that.
I think that's a big part of it. If we're deliberately avoiding previews, we're not getting it. And then beyond that, they seem to not really advertise that much for films anymore outside of previews. It seems to me.
Or the big budget ones. Yeah. So this is an interesting thing I'm going to continue to dive into because, as I mentioned yesterday in the text thread, I'm really excited for the new Alex Garland called Civil War. I did watch that trailer. There are trailers I will watch. Like if it's not like a huge, I know I'm going to go see it, I will watch the trailer to see if it'll sell me on it. But usually if I know I'm going to go see a movie and I can't wait and I don't want to know anything about it, I won't watch. So I guess I'm kind of a waffler in that respect. But I've been known to be a waffler before. All right, Travis, let's get into quarantine viewing picks and see what's been passing through your retinas. Is that how eyeballs work?
Sounds either painful or like some sort of secretion. Sounds personal.
It does sound very personal. Secretions.
I've not watched much. I mean, after watching Echo a couple weeks ago, I was in the mood to dig back into Daredevil. So I watched the first couple seasons of Daredevil again, and that they really fucked that up by having Defenders in the middle of it. Because in order to keep the story going, you have to like stop and watch the Defenders. So I'm watching Defenders now, which I'm not crazy about, but it's part of the whole Daredevil thing. And then I watched Killers of the Flower Moon as promised.
Oh!
Okay.
All right. Underbite.
As I said to you guys, starring Leonardo DiCaprio as Matt Damon as Ernest Burkham or whatever his name is, Burkhart. Yeah. I'm surprised that Leo was snubbed. I really thought he was going to get an Academy Award nomination for this. I mean, he's this.
Oh, here he's getting pissed. It's not your fault, Travis. It is not your fault. This happens to Travis sometimes, and he.
Yeah, I thought it was my cord. It's my microphone. I need to buy a new mic. They're not cheap. Anyways, I thought that it was one of the better performances of his career. I was surprised he didn't get the nom. I'm not surprised that De Niro got the nomination. He hasn't won an Academy Award since 1980. And I think this might be the one. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a third Academy Award.
Did I raise my hand?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, now you sound normal. Yeah, for a second you sounded like the setting had changed on your mics. Keep talking now. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Oh, now you're good. You're back. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. Okay. So
I apologize.
No worries. It's like the best performance I've seen from De Niro in a long time.
Didn't I tell you?
It's
God damn it.
really
get on this.
Really, I mean,
I'm signing up for Apple Plus right now.
I'm like, this guy needs to play Truman. He needs to play fucking Truman. I had no idea. I never would have guessed that he should play Harry Truman, but the dude should play Harry Truman. You make a great Truman after seeing him in this.
That's a good call.
And he's it's different. It's a different role for him, and so that's refreshing. Again, like, I think that we've set a bad precedent by making a lot of the best movies of the year, the last few years, from the biggest filmmakers, and we're supporting them by celebrating them and seeing the movies. Doesn't need to be 3.5 hours long. This movie did not need to be 3.5 hours long.
I told you, and you know why. We can't say it because Eric still needs to see it, but I'm pretty sure you would agree with me on why that is.
You know, I'm watching the movie, and it's got Eldon Henson in it, who plays Foggy Nelson on Daredevil, and he's just sitting at a table. He's like in the background a couple times. I don't think the man has a line in the whole movie. And I'm thinking to myself, there's a bunch of shit they cut out of this thing. It's amazing.
He needs an editor.
Yeah, he needs an editor. And it could have been a long movie. A 2.5-hour movie, I think, would have been fine. But it's so immersive. Like, it's one of the better like period pieces I've seen in a while.
Right?
Really
that's what I said.
Feels like I'm living in 1925.
Yes. That's what Mike Didn't they crush it, dude? They totally crushed that aspect of the film.
Damn it.
Yeah, so I'm glad that it's getting celebration, but man, it's just like it's just so fucking long, but it's absolutely worth checking out. I did a similar thing to you. I did not sit down and I would never want to watch that movie in theaters. I'm glad I didn't see it in theaters. I took a 3.5-hour movie and turned it into like a 7-hour event by breaking it up with a bunch of other things. But yeah, and that's all I watched.
And it's not boring. It's not boring.
No, it's not boring. It's a fucking Martin Scorsese movie, man. You know, I mean, like, it's even in the slow moments, there's beauty and there's, dude. Also, I want to say I'm really glad that Robbie Robertson was nominated for Best Score for this movie, because I'm watching the movie, I'm like, this score is incredible. Who's behind this?
Are you
Robbie Robertson? And what I believe was his last. Way. Yeah, I think it's probably the last thing he did, and it's really good. I mean, you have to see it. Again, it's too fucking long, but accept that, and you're still in for a good movie.
Yep.
I guess Marty just became the most nominated living director now after this. He dethrones Spielberg with 10 nominations. The great Marty Scorsese still keeping it real.
Yeah, he hasn't lost anything.
Fuck.
Nope. The only thing I didn't like is what we'll discuss after Eric sees next, you know? All I'll say is, we get it. We get it. So, good job, Travis. I'm glad you agreed on the stuff that I agreed with, too, because I basically hit everything you said. I think that's basically how I felt. And I forgot to mention the score by Robbie Robertson, who I think is kind of a douchebag a little bit, but it's a hell of a great job. He's a talented man. I'll never deny that. So.
He's dead.
He was a talented man. He's dead now, so we'll speak in the past tense, even though
He's
there's a movie
now.
you can currently watch now. So.
Yep.
All right, Eric, you didn't watch Killers of the Flower Moon? Maybe you watched the first 20 minutes?
No, watch that movie Paddington about that bear. It's cute.
Yeah, it's good. I like they're both good. But yeah.
I watched that and I'm like, man, this is really good. Now I know what they've been talking about. Thinking it was like Paddington 2, which is like Britain's favorite movie of all time. It's like they think it's like the best movie ever made. I'm like, this is fantastic. And then I like hit stop. I'm like, this is the first one, and the second one's even better. Wow. I don't know. I got Paddington fever. Killers of the Flower Moon's gonna have to wait. I want more of this bear.
Hey, kids, gather around! Killers of the Flower Moon time. Yeah, you guys don't do that. No. I wouldn't recommend that. That movie is not for children, although it is an excellent. As far as what, like, Travis will show that movie in a class someday. I bet.
No, 3.5 hours. I'm not showing that to me.
Well, no, it'll be a whole week. It'll be like the week leading up to a Christmas break or something, where like the last 3 days are a fuck all. You're like, okay, here we go. We're gonna watch. Exactly.
Yeah, we watched the 2 tapes of Gettysburg at one time.
Double taped.
Double tape. Jeff Daniels as who did he play? He didn't play Lee, did he?
He played. Was he in Andersonville? I'm getting all those mixed up now. Who cares? Anyways, your world.
Tom Berger. What's his name?
Fuck knows. Tom. Oh yeah, I think that was. What the fuck? Tom, that face. Tom Berenger.
Berenger. Yeah.
Tom,
he used to be famous.
That's it. I mean, I shot my movie, so that's been taking a ton of my time.
Exciting.
So I did sneak in Paddington. I shot that. Super happy. It looks fucking awesome. But that's about it.
Dude, great, I am so happy for you. I'm so proud of you. You're going into what you love to do still, and you're making it happen, and you're getting better and better at it, dude. I am just so proud of you, man. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Not that you do it for what I give a shit about it, but it makes me feel good inside. Thank you. Eric.
Cool. That's it, though.
Looking forward to that release. You think that'll come out later this year, or is that too soon to say?
Probably next month. I do it pretty fast. I edit it pretty fast.
Oh, okay, great. All right. Look forward to that. Go to Eric's YouTube, too. Subscribe. There's nothing wrong with that. What's it called, Eric? You want to tell us? I know you're very biased.
Well, I don't want to get into it. Go to my YouTube. Stay tuned. I'll update as needed.
Self-promoting.
He's the master. All right. As far as me, so I mentioned it last week that I started to get a taste for Deadwood, so I blew through all 3 seasons. It sucks. There's only 3 seasons, man.
Yeah.
I wish there was more.
Well, there's the movie.
And of course, I watched the movie too. I topped it off.
I haven't seen it.
I saw the movie when it came out. That's what I had never seen Deadwood, the show, back in 2019 when the movie came out. So I'm like, I got to go watch this show then. So I watched the show. I loved it, of course.
Yeah.
Ian McShane, just a towering powerhouse performance by a incredible actor. A Tower Records.
We were going to let it
and
Hightower?
Hightower, that's right. Bubba Smith, #1 draft pick, the Michigan State Spartans. He was on that undefeated team in '66. That's a little fun trivia there by Bubba Smith from Police Academy. I love that show. So damn good. I hate that I wish there was another season. I guess that's a good thing to say about Deadwood, is that it leaves you wanting more. Like, man, I love that they intertwine historical figures, a real place with some real events. Others, it's not actual like retelling. It's just an authentic kind of examination, because Wild Bill Hickok was a real guy. He really, things did happen to him there. Spoiler alert, because the show's like 18 years old, but I'm not really sure I'm required to be adherent to that anymore. But man, Deadwood's great. It's so good. That movie is just a little like, hey, let's see everybody for one last time. It's not anything special, but it's just nice to check in. So I'll definitely go back and watch Deadwood again and again and again. And other thing I noticed too, by the way, is that in the movie that came out in 2019, Jeffrey Jones is in it. Is that like the first thing he's been?
Yeah.
Because he was such an integral part of the show that
Jeffrey Jones.
He was there. He's in more than one scene in that movie. He's not a prominent figure, but he's there. You're like, oh my God, that's that guy who did some dumb shit. That's not cool at all. So.
Well, the show is peopled with that guy, not the ones that are pedophiles, but the ones that like Gerald McRaney's performance in that is incredible.
Isn't it?
Major Dad, he's
Major
unreal on that show. And Garrett Dillahunt is incredible in the 2 performances he does on that show.
Yeah, double dip. I don't know how I feel about that still, but okay.
Bradley Garrett is amazing in it. I mean, I
gotta see that. I haven't seen that either. I still
it's definitely
gotten around to it.
Definitely worth it. It's such a good show. Yeah. Well, and then that got me thinking about another. What was it? I wrote it down here. By the way, we never mentioned this. I just want to throw it out there. One of the greats that we all 3 of us love here, Tom Wilkinson, died recently.
Oh,
yeah, we should have.
And I wanted to mention it real quick. I wrote it down just because he was such a incredible actor and so many. He was in the next part, which I'm going to mention. I watched John Adams again, and he played Ben. He played Ben Franklin. That was one of the underrated roles that I don't think was mentioned after he passed. He was great in that.
So good.
Yeah, he was. He was great at everything, though. He was just one of those guys. He was a towering powerhouse. He was a towering powerhouse.
Dude, I'm so glad. When we did Michael Clayton, we spent like 20 minutes just heaving praise on the man. So I'm really happy we got through that.
Maybe one of the best performances on film.
So
honestly.
Good.
Really?
I think. I mean, like, if I had like to come up with a list of the best performances I've seen on film, that would be on the list.
Wow. I'm not going to argue. That's beautiful.
Yeah, he's incredible in it.
Here's to you, Mr. Wilkinson. I totally forgot, Travis. I mean, John Adams. I watched the shit out of that so much, and for some reason, it's strange how where we're at now. We're all 3 of us are 43. It's 2024, and the sector of what I'm starting to forget now, and like what is historical now, isn't catching up with where I am in my life. Like John Adams was just something I watched all the time, but I really hadn't watched it in a long time, and I totally forgot about the fucking awesome intro theme song to that show, which is so good. It's really, you go put it on, go to YouTube, play the John Adams theme song. You'll be like, oh, I forgot about that. That is, everybody talks about the Game of Thrones theme song, which is rightfully so an excellent theme. But the John Adams theme from the 2007 miniseries, limited series, whatever you want to call it, with Paul Giamatti and Laura Linney is
great. David
so
Morse.
Good. It's such an honest retelling of a completely mythologized time of the American Revolution and all that shit. You're getting an honest portrayal of how difficult it was and how like that photo at the end of his life, that painting that was made of the 50th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence by that Trumbull guy. And in that series at the end, John Adams is pissed being shown to it right before he dies. He's like, this is not what it was like at all. People were coming and going all the time. It was total chaos. It wasn't like this. It wasn't all pompy and classy like this. So I still think that there's a lot of problems with the American Revolution and how it's been mythologized. So I'm glad that the show does a little bit of honesty in that realm, and it's still not enough, frankly, but it's a decent effort still. And I enjoyed watching John Adams again. I just forgot about it.
You know, Paul Giamatti was also nominated for Holdovers. Have you watched Holdovers yet?
I need to get access to it. That's the only thing. I haven't had a chance to access that, but that will happen because that might be on the best. Is that 2023 technically, right? Still?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It just came out.
All right, cool. Last thing. Remember that Coming to America sequel? Nobody talks about
Coming to America? Yeah, no one talks about it. It sucked.
I know. It just... Okay, so again, it's been a couple years. It came out in 2021. And everybody in the world would want a sequel to that film. Everybody... I mean, you talk about a universally beloved film across all cultures across the world. Coming to America is a massive hit from household to household across this country. And the sequel sucks. It's so bad. And I went back and watched it again just to make sure, because I remember like turning it off after 45 minutes when I watched it. Like, this was terrible. And you're like, oh my God, Wesley Snipes and Eddie Murphy together? What a great idea. Trash. Just so trash. It's got a few laughs here or there, but I think it says a lot that nobody talks about it at all. And it just came out a couple years ago.
Better left unsaid.
Yeah, it is.
It's a shame because Dolomite is my name is laugh out loud hilarious from start to finish, and that's the same creative team, and they've completely
it's
dropped
Craig
the ball.
Brewer. In fact, they did that together. Craig Brewer was the director. Eddie Murphy's like, let's do this. I think I'm going to do this now. And it's not the director's fault. I think it's just poor storytelling.
It was a bad script. You took a movie and made it about the guy's son, and then made that actor someone no one knows. You know what I mean? Like, it was the focus was on the wrong thing, on the wrong character. It was weird.
It was weird. Yeah, it was very weird, and that's too bad because I thought Dolomite was great. So would have hoped that would happen, but it didn't, and it still sucks. So don't bother. All right, there you go. That's our quarantine viewing picks. If you want to let us know what you've been watching, cinemanipod@gmail.com. Send us an email. We'd love to hear about it. Now it's time to get into my pick. That's right. My pick for this week is Proof of Life. Proof of Life.
Proof of Life.
Proof of Life. Oh, Mrs. Bowman. Mrs. Bowman.
It's a guy.
I kept doing that.
The British Army?
Guy.
You were in the British Army? Are you sure?
Miss Bowman.
Oh, yeah.
Miss Bowman. Miss Bowman. It stars Russell Crowe and Meg Ryan. David Caruso. Good to see David Caruso's red hair. He's not fucking around in this movie. He's having a good time.
Oh, I feel like he's the reason that we watched this movie, because you're a huge Caruso fan, and this is him having a lot of fun.
Why am I a David Caruso fan?
You are the biggest David Caruso fan I know. You talk about him all the time, and you have for decades.
What? What are you talking about? This is absurd. I'll wear it, but I feel like
you've gone on. I mean, other than like, you know,
I watched Jade.
Yeah, I don't know. You're always going on about him. You have.
I'm always
so.
Where's this? I need the historical record on this.
This is our 181st episode. There are 180 episodes you can go back and listen to, and I would bet you bring them up like one out of every 3 episodes. All right,
I want to hear it. The people, the diehards, who listen to the show every week. cinemanipod@gmail.com. Am I obsessed, or at least too? Do I speak too often of David Caruso? That's what I'm
appropriately. I'm just saying you're a fan.
I never labeled myself a fan. I'll take it though. I'll wear it. He's a cool guy. I love NYPD Blue. So I picked it, so I'll start. My memory of seeing this film was 2003. I had just moved to Charleston, so it was kind of 2003, 2004. And these are the Blockbuster video days still that were going on. And I was sick. I got strep throat. I remember I went and remember the band Stretch Armstrong?
Vaguely.
Yeah, they were like a hardcore,
Yeah, vaguely.
Yeah, I saw them in South Carolina at this place with this girl who was a radio DJ. Her name was Camille. I've never met a Camille. That was the only Camille I've ever known. And we had a great time. Went and saw that band. And she gave me strep throat, though, so I was laying in bed for a couple of days. And this is one of the movies I watched, Proof of Life, 2000 film with Russell Crowe. And I remember thinking, this is not bad. I'm enjoying this flick. You know, it's like an interesting story about things that are happening between big, powerful corporations and the people who are trying to make a difference to use those corporations to those means. I remember enjoying it. So there you go. Nobody else has a recollection on this one?
I owe you an apology. I did what I was just getting on Eric for, except for I didn't know it, that I'd never seen this movie. When you brought it up last week, I was like, oh, the movie sucks. But I'm pretty sure I was thinking of The Devil's Own, which I don't know why.
Oh, that's terrible.
It's
terrible.
really bad. No, I've never seen Proof of Life until yesterday. So I got no recollection. Well, I have a strong recollection, but no nostalgia for it.
Yeah, I rented this immediately when it came out because I was a Crow file. I was like, anything this guy makes from here on out, I'm there. In theaters. And I remember walking out of the theater wondering just how pissed David Morse was at the premiere while watching all of his hard work go to complete waste because of everything else that doesn't involve him. And then I haven't seen it since this morning.
Okay.
Yeah,
David Morse is in this.
George Washington himself, Michael.
That's right. John Adams, George Washington. Travis, what did you say in the text thread yesterday about David Morse?
Oh, I said he's typecast as the gentle creep.
Gentle creep. The gentle creep.
That's him. He's the gentle creep.
Yep. Go down the filmography. Gentle creep, gentle creep, gentle creep. Dad, gentle creep.
Yeah, gentle creep, proof of life. Gentle creep.
Isn't it weird? He has Travis, isn't it bizarre? He has one scene in the morning show. It feels like they wanted to go with that story more, but then they're like, forget it. Because you brought in David Morse to play Reese Witherspoon's dad for a minute, and then it's never really seen again. It's kind of weird.
I totally forgot about that.
See? Exactly.
Yeah, it must have been. Yep. Maybe he got busy or something. I don't know. Yeah, a thread that they dropped, it sounds like.
I guess so.
It never ceases to amaze me just how huge this man is. I always forget until I see him in a scene with regular human beings, and he'd make a great Galactus, for many reasons. He's just this fucking gigantic dude, powerhouse. I mean, I'll have a lot to talk about for this film, but yeah, I love kind eyes. That's what we call him in this household, kind eyes. We've always called him that because he's got these beautiful, kind eyes.
Well, how could I forget? I have to mention this now. Right now, Steve Guile is going apeshit because I haven't even said it yet, but back in the day,
in the cut?
Me and Steve used to call David Morse Craigers Morse because he looked part Craig Kilborn and part Matt Mishka. So we called him Craigers Morse. He also was a Matt Mishka replica in a way when he was younger, but he had the Craig Kilborn and Mishka combo. We called him Craigers Morse, and that's how I remember it. Steve, email the show. Let me know, cinnamonipod@gmail.com if I forgot that memory in any way. But Craigers Morse, yeah. Craig Kilborn was popular once upon a time, and he has disappeared from the lexicon of existence. What about the rating on this one? Is it a total piece of shit? Is it a middle of the road trash?
I'm going to say 6.7.
I accidentally saw it, Mike. What are you thinking?
I think we're talking middle of the road trash here, just a 6.3.
You nailed it. 6.3.
I did? That's two in a row. Oh, wow.
Look at you. All right.
Yeah, that's... Well, I mean, I feel like I should be in line with what this movie is, so it makes me feel like...
Check out that Rotten Tomatoes. It's ugly.
I tell you.
Oh, boy.
No red in sight.
No red in... I think that's a little... I feel like you're coloring,
I'm not.
shading a little
Take
bit.
a look.
Proof of Life gets a 39% from the critics.
Yowzers.
And, not much better. 43 from the crowd, so it's... almost universal agreement there on where this movie rates. As far as critical reviews, how about David Anson of Newsweek? Once upon a time, he said, neither Crowe, Ryan, nor the topical subject keeps Proof of Life from feeling recycled. For all the up-to-minute research, the movie still gives off the musty scent of Hollywood contrivance.
Ooh. But you know what? Watching it, speaking of research, I could feel, because Tony Gilroy wrote this screenplay.
He did!
And I could feel him getting into the idea of rebellion and factionalization and partisans and all that kind of stuff, the stuff that he brings to Andor later on. I could kind of get some of that vibe in this.
Really glad you said that. Yep, that's an important part here. Peter Travers, Rolling Stone, didn't say anything. He just gave a splat. Okay, great.
All right.
Robert Dennerstein of the Denver Rocky Mountain News. Oh, nobody says anything. It's just splats. There's no, wow, this is strange. Getting a lot of red and green. Here we go, Roger Ebert.
Okay.
I was interested all through the movie. Interested, but not riveted.
Okay, that's our guy.
Say that, say that about a lot of
Makes
movies.
sense.
Yeah,
Wes.
it's kind of a catch-all, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. That's one of his. I guess he was busy. Wesley Morris of the San Francisco Chronicle at the time said, "Emotionally off kilter." Okay, thanks, Wesley. A lot of reviews on this one. Looking, maybe Destin's going to check in.
Be nice.
That would be nice. If you want to hear from the New York Times, we can do that. Stephen Holden, the New York Times, said, "What ultimately sinks this stylish but heartless film is a flat lead performance by the eternally snippy Meg Ryan." You going to blame Meg Ryan for that? Oh.
Sure, why
Lead
not?
performance. She has top billing in this too, but I really feel like it's Russell Crowe's movie. He's like the main character, isn't he?
It's difficult because they kind of like, they set up on this couple, right? So, and then it transitions. So I can see the argument going either way, I guess.
Yeah.
Lastly, of course,
Co-leads.
co-leads. Destin
Yeah.
Thompson checked in from the
All
Washington
right.
Post. That was a good. Proof of Life isn't a movie. It's an overpriced scrapbook.
Oh no! Dang.
Well done, Destin. Here, sir.
There's a reason why we love him.
So good. Rarely is he off. Yeah, so generally people are, it seems like they want to like it, but they end up not liking it.
Well, what's there not to like? I love a good hostage thriller. We got the ransom money putting together, and we also get to see the action. And does it take? No. It's shot in Ecuador, but once again, we got a fictional South American town, so no one gets pissed.
Yeah, this fake country Takala, which is so stupid.
Are you serious right now?
It really
So
bothers you?
Yeah, it actually really bothers me. Like, it's just so, like, what you clearly are pretending it's in Colombia. You're clearly pretending
right.
it's Colombia.
Yes.
Like, just you're gonna upset. You're not gonna, the movie's not gonna be shown in Colombia, and that's gonna damage your international sales.
Yep.
Come the fuck on.
Well, sometimes people do this. They, even in the newsroom, and Aaron Sorkin would make up that African Kunadu or something. I don't know why they make up these countries, especially when you're trying to deal with like real world geopolitical shit.
Yeah, exactly. You're trying to have it grounded in like this earthy, real, gritty shit, and and then you're throwing out this fantasy. And then you brought up Africa. That's another big problem in this movie. They repeatedly refer to Africa. That time we were in Africa. Remember Africa when we were in Africa?
I can't believe my daughter was buried in Africa.
Right. And they mentioned Egypt as if that's not in Africa. I'm like, what the fuck are you? What is this? Like,
I don't know.
Geography?
You're right, though. I mean, they flirt with this commentary about how, revolutionists can just turn into run-of-the-mill drug runners, but they don't have the balls to make it take place in a real country so they can make a statement.
Yeah.
So you mentioned Tony Gilroy. He's not the only writer on this. Technically, there's 3 names.
Oh.
So what do you think, Travis? You had to guess? Like, Tony Gilroy didn't have the clout yet, or maybe he just, it was just a difficult situation.
He was the executive producer on it as well, so that's clout.
Directed by Taylor Hackford, too, like I said last week.
Which, I mean, this is, I think, our second Taylor Hackford film. We did Devil's Advocate. I don't think we've done any others. But strong director. I mean, I've always been a fan of his stuff. I think he's a strong director. But
I think he helps this movie.
I think he helps this movie quite a bit. And I think he's also one of the directors I can really tell when he doesn't have, I don't want to bash the cinematographer, but he doesn't have Dante Spinati with him. You know what I mean? He doesn't have like, he does better when he's got someone that is more focused on lush color. And this is more of a like movement driven kind of direction with this. So it's a different kind of style of cinematography, right? There's a lot more movement here as opposed to something like Dolores Claiborne that's just somewhat, just settled in these grays and browns and reds and blues and stuff. You know what I mean? That makes sense.
Well, I think, as Eric said, it was partially shot in Ecuador, but I think there's a lot of lovely views. They go into some, it looks like they're really going into the bush, deep into the shit in this movie. I feel that part of the movie being like authentic in that respect.
Yeah, but that's not the cinematography. That's the location, right?
It's not, but there's a lot of beautiful shots, I think. But you're right. It doesn't have to be, it's not really, I guess I see the movie as just kind of being as is, not really plushed up or like made to look more impressive or more gritty. It could have done that in a way, I guess, with some decisions to use handheld cameras and shit like that too. But I guess I don't know.
You need Greengrass on this one? He's putting the Hack and Hackford for me in this one.
Oh, wow.
His direction's concerned. Cinematography, okay, that's not bad. But his direction, awful. Like these lame dissolves between him and his wife when they're thinking about each other is fucking laughable. Like his choices here are dumb to me. This seems like an absolute scrapbook. Like it seems patched together, and we know it was because this on-set relationship made him go into the edit room and try to salvage what he had because he knew audiences were going to be pissed. So we cut out so much of this relationship dynamic and tried to intercut a little better with the stuff in
yeah,
the
I'm glad he did. Thank you, Mr. Hackford. I'll give him credit for that.
I think that's partly why I didn't see the movie back in the day was because, and I didn't give a fuck about the marriage of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid. I don't give a shit about these people. But I just didn't like the concept. I didn't like the idea of like the plot, because I remember that being like basically how it was advertised in theater. Yeah. That it's a romance action drama, and with the premise being that the romance is taking place between the hostage's wife and the hostage negotiator, and that's just a dumb call.
That's exactly right.
The movie would have been significantly better if they'd never kissed. Which I love when they kiss in the movie because she looks like she like shakes her head, looks all fucking baffled afterwards. You're like, yeah, that's how we all are feeling right now.
Well, go ahead, Eric.
I just don't. That seems so weird because they shot this big old love scene, so they actually make love in the story, but they cut that out, which is why that's something that would happen if they got into a intimate. It got intimate, but since we didn't see that, it's just like okay, like befuddling. But go ahead, Mike. I'm trying to think what I was going to say.
Well, I think here in that situation, they try to set up the challenges that David Morse's character, Peter Bowman, Peter and Alice, they've been around the world. They lost this child in Africa. And that's been a challenge, and she's not able to get past it. It's a real problem for her, and they're expressing that and making that clear and setting that up. I don't have any problem with that part of it. And then, Peter Bowman's all obsessed with his, is it a dam they're trying to get done? What are they trying to get done exactly? The environmental effort here. By the way,
it's not a pipeline. I don't work for the pipeline.
That's right. See, he's
5 million times.
Because he's selling himself out in a way, and he knows it, and she knows it, and there's a lot of, I thought he did a good job of setting up the dynamic in that relationship where there's a lot of challenges. So I could see her being emotionally invested with Russell Crowe for, I think we're talking like 6 months of captivity.
No, it's about. It tells us
3 months?
It tells us the days. I mean, at the end of the film, the last day
it's 3 months.
Is 124 days. That's when he gets picked up.
Eric, you're pissed about that? You don't think that
there's
they didn't?
No way they're getting into a relationship.
I'm not saying a relationship. Happening. I'm just saying that I didn't know, by the way, first off, that they fucked off camera, or they did on camera but cut it. I thought the kiss wasn't crazy. Yes. Thank you. I didn't think it would be crazy. You're emotionally invested in this hardcore experience with someone day in and day out. And of course, the sister goes home for a while too, so that opens up the door.
As soon as Pamela Reed leaves,
it was so funny.
Wow. Like, we're going to get started. But that was one of my big complaints. Like, I was baffled by it as I'm watching the movie. I'm like, it's months. Did Terry, the character played by Russell Crowe, did Terry quit his job? Did he he did? And is he living with her? They're going grocery shopping together. They're spending every waking moment together. This is part of your job. You have to spend every waking moment together, even though you're only talking to this person once a week on Wednesday nights over your ham radio or whatever the fuck.
A guy who looks just like a rat. I mean, have you ever seen a guy who looks more like a rat on film? It's incredible. I love it. He's got those. Yeah. Oh my God. I love that guy. You listen to me, you son of a bitch. He's so intense. I love that guy. I love their back and forths on the radio. But yeah, I kind of wish, just to bring, you brought it up, Travis, they give you this hint of this organization, the security organization, an international security organization that Russell Crowe works for, Terry works for. And I kind of wanted like more about that, but he kind of just quits because he was passed over, but they don't really explain it. It's just kind of like thrown to the side. I would have been more interested in that and less of the relationship.
Yeah. He's got a son that he literally goes to see for 1 minute.
Oh, cut that shit.
Yep. 1 minute. Why? Yeah. Why even put it in there? I mean, like the fact that he's got his son back at home makes it more confusing and confounding. Because you're like, what are you doing? Like,
I'll tell you why they put it in there. To make him more vulnerable so that Alice will be more attracted to him, which is fucking stupid.
You're good, Eric. You are good. I can't argue that point. You're right. Also, there's a lot of great side characters in this. The guy who runs the oil company, that guy.
Yeah.
Anthony Heald.
Anthony Heald.
Yeah. I love that guy, man. He has probably played an oil executive at least 5 times in a film. Syriana, this movie. Yeah, that's what he does.
Dr. Chilton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Chilton.
Quaid Carbon is cutting costs. You can't get kidnapped when Quaid Carbon is cutting costs. You're fucked.
And that you do, and like again, like early Gilroy, kind of like you're seeing stuff down the line. You're seeing a bit of the Michael Clayton stuff too, because the fact that what's it called, Qantas Carbon, whatever the fuck it's called, Quad Carbon shuts it down, and then they just start up another company with the same people, the same bullshit over and over again. Now they're just like getting away with it. Like that's that's Gilroy.
all that stuff was so much more interesting than this run-of-the-mill ransom money. The fucking dumb bags breaking, and they're like, these fucking bags suck. I'm like, oh, give me a cinch sack. We need to get this ransom money together. It's dopey.
Also, the legend herself, Margot Martindale, is in this movie.
Underutilized.
Oh my god.
Yep.
That scene. What is she say? Kidnapped, and they like echo it 10 times.
That guy who plays her husband is also that guy. I'm like, oh, it's that guy.
I don't know that guy.
Jesus.
Yeah. Also, Alan Armstrong is in this movie. He's part of like the security syndicate where he meets up. It's that guy's face. You know what I'm talking about? The bald guy with that nose who's in like a lot of. I think he's in a lot of British movies. He is. And
I know Michael, what's his name? Michael Byron. It was the old man in the security firm. I recognize him, but I didn't recognize the other guy.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun rules. There's a lot of people creeping around, and it's a lot that starts to brew up. And I also think that the connection there between them and the neighbors, and the house is haunted because it was run by drug dealers, the scorpion in the pool.
Which sounds like they got this location and had to explain the scorpion. So Yep. That's it.
Travis, you nailed. That's exactly what they did. But I think I like about the movie is that when it first kicks off after. Peter's kidnapped. You have this local guy who is on the take, right? The guy with the very tight t-shirt, the black t-shirt, who's setting up the money, and they're going to take all the money.
Fernandez,
Fernandez, right? And that's a cool scene. I like that because you wouldn't know who to trust. You're in a foreign country. Mm-hmm. You're not as familiar with the locals. You could easily be taken advantage of, and I like the dichotomy of that scene. The scenes like that make me enjoy this film. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. I like that.
To go back to him getting kidnapped, though, before he's kidnapped, David Morse was driving through this town where there's a parade going on and there's people walking everywhere. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this guy doing? Why is he driving like this? Like, it's literally, I mean, it's bizarre. Even like, I don't understand. He's
hauling ass down a one-way street, pissed at everybody else.
And surrounded by hundreds, if not thousands, of people on their feet around him. Like he's like going 45 miles an hour, zipping by children. I'm like, what is this? Why is this happening? Puzzling.
What about Kessler? You guys have fun with Kessler? The crazy Italian? Frenchman?
German.
Sorry.
Crazy German.
Oh, he was in the French Foreign Legion, though.
Yeah, but still, the character was German.
So you could be a German and be in the French Foreign Legion? I don't know.
Well, you could be Australian and you can be Australian and in the British Army, Mike. What the fuck?
There you go.
All right, yeah, SAS, hardcore, okay. But once they get into the camp, and I want to talk about this part of it, the setting up of this difficulty where the guy who gets too stoned and high all the time, he screws up and almost costs them the
big man.
Sure.
They got this back and forth between the two of them, which culminates in Peter Bowman expertly using a handgun and taking him out, no problem.
Mm-hmm.
After we just had to be shown how to take the safety off, then he could handle it. I did like
of course.
The concussive blast made Terry's eyes bleed. I thought that was
kind
of cool. Although if you're making his eyes bleed, that means he's also concussed and probably going to be really confused about what day it is. And
that rescue operation will, when it comes so late, will make you long for more of that during the movie. Because I thought that rescue operation, the whole sequence was badass. The way they were organized in tiers and shit, it was cool.
When he rolls down the hill with the assault rifle, it's actually like good, but it's hilarious at the same time. He's literally like tumbling like a child.
Yeah. It's very deliberate. Yeah. It is, yeah. I can see the comedy there. Yeah.
Cowboys and Indians antics on the set.
Caruso livens it up. All right, I guess I'll be the Caruso lover here, but he livens it up.
I love David Caruso. He's fun.
He was great in this movie. He brought I don't know, some levity to situations, but he felt like even though he was like that, he was that cocky. Like he really believed in himself and he got the job done. He was just like that kind of guy that I would never be.
We got a solid opening that promises a thrill ride, and then we got this last 20 minutes that's a lot of fun. What's going on in the middle here? Like right off the bat, like, I'm sorry, dude. Mike, I know we're going to talk pre and post in the cut Meg Ryan, but this, first of all, I think this is the final performance of Meg Ryan's face before all the plastic surgery. But not just that, like, this is like the Nicole Kidman school of acting here. I'm not buying any of this conversation with her and David Morris, with her and the cigarettes. It's total Hollywood smoking. This is off. This casting is off for me. Doesn't work.
Are you sure you're not putting your own projections of what you think she is?
Yeah, she's America's sweetheart.
She's not.
Yeah, absolutely.
She did The Doors in '91. The Doors. She played a very drugged out, sexually liberated woman quite well in that movie. Even if you hate the movie.
And when I say she's not America's sweetheart, I mean no one is. There's no America's sweetheart. There's just whoever we, project onto for a period of time. Yeah, but
okay,
I mean, like,
she's been in a lot of romantic comedies, so she's like a type.
Yes, I agree, but I'm saying, like, so has Julia Roberts, and we know that she has a hard edge to her that she can show, and it's believable.
But she's a better actress.
Well, yeah, she is a better actress. Okay.
Wow, you're coming hard on Meg Ryan here. I think she's excellent actress. I mean, she's not a Helen Mirren type, obviously, but she's someone who
I guess I'm just not buying this vulnerable, like, quote unquote hippie type. She just comes off like she just got out of bed, looks like she always has to throw up, and is delivering the lines limply.
I feel bad because I feel like this was, between her marriage going belly up and this being a huge flop, it did really seem like Hollywood was like, oh, you're 40 now, fuck off, bye. And we didn't really get much more of her since. I'm not and things have kind of changed since then, but like I always liked her.
What about fucking Hurley Burley? That was 2 years prior to this. She plays she killed that role.
Not a sweetheart.
So she's raw in that movie, and I love that.
It's a comedy. I'm just
it
not
is a comedy.
This dramatic performance. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, I see that part of it. So you look at it, Proof of Life 2000, Kate and Leopold the next year, and then In the Cut in 03. And then it's just like way off the rails from there. It's just like, okay, she didn't work for 4 years. So,
but it isn't her best performance. I do have to agree with that. It's not great writing either. I mean, I don't. The character is like, I mean, you're portraying a character who's either arguing with her husband or like tense and like worried and scared. So it's like there's not a lot of like, you know what I mean? Like it's always kind of high end, and it's just not pleasant to be around. It's not the actress.
Yeah, she gets to check out Russell Crowe's muscles, share his beer, let him touch her knee. It's just this whole character. I don't like it. I don't like it.
Ryan's fault, though.
Okay, well, in the end, you are responsible for your performance, but your character's motivations as designed by the script are not your fault. So I think what I mean to say here is that if you were to assume a couple, which they've been living abroad for a long time, right? Is that
8 years?
We're to assume that, right?
Yeah. It said 8 years.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so to assume that means that it implies to me that there is a certain sense of an ability to live on the edge a little bit, live a little more dangerously. Like, I mean, they're not going to like tourist resorts every time they're traveling either. They're trying to do real meaningful changes, I assume, in the situations they were living at prior. So the character implies to be someone who should have been a little bit stronger than she comes off as with a lot of these, as you said, Eric, like kind of like, like she seems all over the place and kind of ineffectual at times. And that's not, I wouldn't get that from that character. So that's not her fault, but it's a combination of the script and the direction of the whole thing coming together where it's like, yeah, it kind of just doesn't do it. I think that's fair.
And I think there's things written about her that are just like, it makes okay. So for instance, she's waiting for her husband, who she's been waiting for months, to get off the helicopter. He steps off the helicopter. There's a dude who she knows he's had bloody feet. You know where I'm going with this. He's had bloody feet in the picture she sent. Now he's got some sort of like wrapped up thing around his calf from where he got punctured by this booby trap. And she stands there and makes him come to her until the last like step or two. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, run to your husband.
And then, wait a minute, I'll be back. Like, You would. Yeah, you're right. That's not her fault.
Oh, all right. It's like they're designed to make us dislike this character.
Yeah,
I do like Russell Crowe in the movie. He doesn't do that much. Like, that's how compelling this guy is. Like, I miss these kind of Russell Crowe roles. I fucking love Unhinged, but I do miss these romantic leading man roles because he's just so charismatic and compelling. I love Russell. In fact, is this the first appearance of Russell Crowe on this show?
No.
I think it is.
Like in the film that we're spotlighting?
It maybe.
Yeah, I think it is.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the same year as Gladiator, so this is really a footnote because Gladiator was such a powerhouse.
I've got a great... Dude, I was thinking about making a move. This is not apropos for the show, but he would be great in this true story that I was just reading about the other day, and it could be his comeback role. I'll text you about it later.
Ooh, okay. I'd like to hear about that. One example I wanted to bring to the jury here about dynamics of challenging relationships when there's people you love and people you meet who you are attracted to. The same year, or the year after, right? Castaway came out. Mm-hmm. And Castaway did a much, much better job, in my opinion, of diving into the difficulties and the challenges of being with someone you love and then being separated from them for a while and then, like, wanting to be with them again. Like, it was just more authentic. I thought what was going on with Helen Hunt's character. Yes, he's Tom Hanks is on an island for 4 years. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, she thought he was dead, so it was more forgivable too.
Yeah, that's true too. It's not a.
I'm so glad you brought this up because I laughed out loud. You got one scene where David Morse starts looking back at his life and the way things have been going for the past few years. He starts crying, thinking about how much he really does love his wife and he wants to make it work. The very next scene, she's making out with the hostage negotiator.
Yeah. I mean, like, risking his life to get his shirt, not because he wants his shirt, but because he wants that picture of her so he can cuddle up against it. Oh,
Kamisa!
Also, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the man's fingernails?
Whew. Yeah.
Right? He grew them
see those claws
out. You know that for months this guy was walking around like, I can't shave, I can't bathe, I can't do anything that they wouldn't let a hostage do. I bet he stank. For the whole shoot.
I bet there's nothing that rings false with that. You're right. That's not really any additional costuming or makeup design. You're right. That's he went into the part. Good for you, David Morse. I buy everything about the performance, David Morse. I don't have anything wrong with your performance.
Great in it.
Best performance in the film.
He's fantastic in it.
I think Russell Crowe's understated, but I think he's excellent too. But yeah, I won't pick a fight about that. So. Was there any cool music in this movie?
Yes. The Van Morrison outro with the awesome fucking aerial shots of Quito, I'm assuming. That was awesome. I mean, great era of Van Morrison. Great song choice with "I'll Be Your Lover" too. And it's just like such a meditation. It's just so like it's not what the song you would expect for them to end with. I thought it was really powerful.
Why is this a Danny Elfman score? This is like Redbox action movie score, and it's Danny Elfman.
Are you kidding me?
Didn't sound anything. I mean,
no.
Holy shit! I didn't know that at all.
No.
Wow,
yeah, it was Dead Presidents kind of, and not Tim Burton Danny Elfman, because there's two Danny Elfmans. There's like I'm going to do the shit you expect, and I'm going to do the generic shit that's just gets me a paycheck, whatever.
And by the way, he's like all roided out now, and he's got issues. By the way,
Danny Elfman.
Wow.
Yeah, Google a picture of him now. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
He's not a pretty man.
He looks like fucking Sweet Tooth from Twisted Metal. Like, he's insane.
Not complimentary.
No.
Well, it's Bridget Fonda after that happened. You know.
Oh boy.
What?
Well, tough times.
Yeah.
Like Russell Crowe, people we gain weight. We get heavier. Gerard Depardieu style. So.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. What else is standing out to us here?
The overall tale they're telling, I forget the relationship, but do we all three of us agree that maybe it wasn't done well, but the setting up of the various factions with the corporate influence, etc., in a South American country, of course, a fake one, we're assume, which is Colombia. I dug that part of the film. I thought that always brings me into it. I wish there was more of it, but there's not much more we need. Like, you've got a guy who works for the state army, the national army, but he's also running this faction on the side as a negotiator, etc. Like the fact that he was able to seek him out at this big pompy military parade thingy. That's pretty hard to do. That kind of lost me a little bit, but I guess if he did do the groundwork, maybe he was be able to use his network of sources to find out who that guy really was. But I thought it was a big break and a little bit lucky, but they got to move the movie along, so oh well.
There was a few moments like that where there's like they're like montages, but they weren't necessarily musically driven montages.
Yeah.
And there'd be dialogue, perhaps, like the whole scene where the maid comes in and she recognizes the voice, like clearly recognizes the voice. It's like buried in the middle of this weird montage. Lots of Meg Ryan kind of wandering back and forth while he's talking to the guy. Like, that gets pretty dull pretty quick. I'm starting to be like, okay, so this is like Radio the movie. That's all that's happening for a good chunk in the middle.
White noise, dude.
But better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the same time, like, I'm loving all like the intricacies that they at least attempt in terms of how this would really happen. Like I love how the politics of how much he'd be worth and whether or not they can rely on and trust the terrorists and stuff. I love all that. I mean, it makes me I would be interested in like Proof of Life, the series, where like it was about this guy's job and like every episode we got like a new assignment. That would be awesome because the stuff they do in this movie that works and it's fun.
You could do an anthology.
It's out of control.
Yeah, that's a good anthology idea, Eric. I like it.
And to specify, you were referring to the 2005 Michael Keaton White Noise. Sorry to
That's
back
correct.
up. Okay, so was I. not the new good one. Yeah.
No, that's different. I didn't think that was good either, but that's
I liked it.
Neither here nor there.
It's not.
Anything else?
Check your notes.
All right, now I've checked them. I'm ready.
Okay. Proof of Life was chosen by me. I had a longing for it. I had watched it and enjoyed it, and I guess for me it's just it'll have that it's what we talk about all the time here. That's what American culture is built on, nostalgia. So if you're in American pop culture, it's all about nostalgia, and Proof of Life is nostalgic enough for me now. The movie's 24 years old this year, and I think Russell Crowe's performance is really, really excellent. I love Russell Crowe. I do. I've always enjoyed his work. But in this role, he's not trying to be more than he needs to be, which I think gives more credit to the performance because he's not mailing it in. He's not. He's putting on a guy who is very disciplined, right? He's very reserved and disciplined. That's his job. So he expresses that beautifully. And I give him full credit for that. Meg Ryan, uneven performance. That's fair. Pamela Reed, whenever she's on screen in any movie, I get kind of annoyed. And it's not for any... I'm not sure what it is, but like she... gets under my skin, and that's a good thing. That means she can act, but like usually she gets a lot of these roles where she does get under my skin, and I don't know, I don't love it. But you look around and I see a lot of people put together an effort with heavy effort that somehow got split up, torn apart, and wrapped up again and forced. It's classic. It's another situation somehow, despite the people with the reps on this film, like Taylor Hackford and what Russell Crowe had become at that point, right before, I mean, it's a Gladiator year, but Russell Crowe he had done The Insider the year before. He was a very well-respected actor. And Meg Ryan speaks for herself. So there's a lot of people here with clout. So maybe there was too many egos here where things got a little bit diverted from what could have been an even better film that was tackling a subject that I think a lot of people want to know more about or would have wanted to know more about. So it's going to hold up for me, but that's just because I like throwing it on. And I'll definitely throw it on again and be like, oh, yeah, I remember that. It's nice.
Yeah, man. Look at the poster. Look at the poster. I remember this fucking poster. We got Russell Crowe, like, rushing Meg Ryan through this explosion. Fucking is an afterthought in the movie. He literally is like, oh, don't worry. That's got nothing to do with us. And like it's just, for me, that sums up everything. It's a marketing ploy to get asses in seats to have Russell Crowe kiss Meg Ryan, and the rest of the story is just fucking dull. There's no clear direction. There's no clear message here. We have an opportunity to have a really solid platonic relationship in this situation between these two characters, and they take the easy way out and try to force this lame romance on me, and it's not working. Test audiences were pissed. That's why they had to get the sex scene out of there, and they had to finagle everything so it's more evenly balanced. But it's just a fucking haphazard goddamn mess. Hated the film. Love Russell Crowe's performance. David Morse does the best he can. That's why I still say that he had to have been like, God damn it, I'm so good in it, but it sucks. This doesn't hold up, man. This is a terrible film.
You never hold back, and I don't disagree with much of what you say. I think that you make a lot of really salient points. I'd never seen the film before, so I can't really say does it hold up because I got no frame of reference. But I'm going to give it a pass. I'm going to say that I was entertained by it. I was interested in it, as our boy Ebes said at the beginning. It kept my attention. You know, I didn't
riveted.
I wasn't riveted, but I was interested. And
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of flaws, as you say. There's a lot of flaws. Not a great film. Not something I'm going to rush to return to. And if this was my second time watching it, I'd probably say that it didn't hold up. But since it was my first time watching it, I'm going to say it's worth the watch. I was entertained. Mostly, the strongest points are the David Morse stuff. All that's happening to him reminded me a bit of Rescue Dawn in a good way. And, there should have been more of the focus on him, I think. And there's a lot of things. I think that had not the script been bungled from the beginning by having the romantic angle, the movie would have been a lot stronger because they wouldn't have had to try and fix all that. But I think also, like, if they made the movie now, I don't know that Hollywood is as quite as hung up on romantic relationships as much as they were at that time. Like at that time, they were like, I could just hear the producers being like, you're going to have Russell Crowe and Meg Ryan in a movie. They're not going to fuck. Like,
there
you know
you
what I mean?
go.
Like,
there you go.
I could just, and the things have changed a little bit now. So this one could almost stand to be remade. Set it in Colombia.
Yeah.
Anthology series. We're putting it out there right now. That's Eric's idea. Let's go.
Yeah. So there we go. 2 holds up, but 1 kind of barely.
Travis, Tony Gilroy being behind this, does that have anything to do with it for you? Not that he crushed it, but
well, yeah,
we know him to be.
That is some of the other stronger points, is the stuff that's that I already kind of referenced, the stuff that he's alluding to about the corporations and that kind of stuff, the partisan stuff happening with the ELT and all that. There was some good stuff here that didn't quite translate, but there were some valiant efforts at filmmaking that fell a little short, but worth the view.
K&R Insurance. I could have used a nice Tony Gilroy scene with the insurance agent trying to explain away this lost insurance policy.
Yeah.
There it is. Proof of Life from 2000. Check it out. I can't remember this. Aaron, you listen to our show sometimes. Please remind me what it is. There's 2 words you can say. They're just 2 regular English words. And if you say them together, they'll sound Australian naturally, but I can't remember what they were. It was something like nightlight, right knife, light knife, life knife. Anyways, let me know. Next week, we're going to go back to the drawing board, and Travis, you have control of that board.
I do. I've got 2 movies I've been bouncing around in my mind for months and months. They're from the same era, but I'll give you guys the option. You feel more like a comedy or a straightforward action? Straightforward comedy, straightforward action.
I think we're due for a comedy. I mean,
I knew you were going to say that, Mike.
Well, we're due.
Eric, you feeling action?
Absolutely, man.
He's on an action kick. We did Universal Soldier the week before. We haven't done a comedy in a minute. I'm just saying.
Well, Ben and June was a comedy, dramedy.
Yeah, you just did
so say you. I don't know if I would say that.
All right, we'll do the comedy. We're going to go back to 2010. I'm a little worried there might not be a ton to say about it, which is part of
let's do the other one then. If there's more to say, fuck it. Who cares?
Well, it's hard to say, until you actually do the movie.
That's right. This is the risk you're taking.
Let's do it. I'll pick the other one another time. Yeah, we're going to go back to 2010. John Cusack comedy, Hot Tub Time Machine.
Oh, Hot Tub Time Machine?
Hot Tub Time Machine. That's what we're going to do. I've had it in my head for a long time.
Hot Tub Time Machine.
See if it holds up.
Wow. Okay. Wow. We're going back to a little more modern times. We've been in the 90s for a while. So, we went to 2000. Although that's really like an end of a 90s year.
Yeah,
but yeah.
It feels like the 90s.
2010. All right, cool. Hot Tub Time Machine. We'll be there doing the show. CinemaNightPod@gmail.com. 5-star review, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Send us in your thoughts. If you're listening to any of the old shows, we got 180 other shows, including this one for 181, and we're closing in on 200 this year. So thanks for being here. You guys are the best. For Eric, Travis, I'm Michael. Bye-bye.
We got to prep that LZ. Don't make me wait, caballeros.
This is Bowman.